Alright guys, welcome back to another stream. I've been doing very good with the streams this week, haven't I? Two streams each day. Well, not each day. 2 streams this week for each day. Monday and Tuesday. I'm on a streak of streaming. But yeah. I wanted to say as well, there is no outro anymore for the StreamYard stuff because they've recently updated it and you have to go on the paid plan to add in additional clips. So it is kind of sad, but it is what it is. So you guys are just going to have to listen to me as I struggle to end the stream once it gets to that point. So Berlin, what's up, man? Doing laundry right now? Nice. It's been a long time since I joined one. Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been quite a while. Nothing's really changed, to be honest with you. The streams are exactly the same as they used to be. I legit just sit here and waffle a load and yap a load until the stream eventually ends. It's good to see the servers doing pretty well though. Nothing bad has happened yet. Some things are better when they stay the same. Also, I've been trying to upgrade, so I'm getting rid of the old stock, which isn't good quality. Fair enough, fair enough. Hopefully in the server we get no bad apples. Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably going to happen at some point. It is the internet at the end of the day. There's going to be the occasional person that shows up who isn't very good for the community. But, we can deal with that. Just kick them out. But, yeah, hopefully it stays relatively peaceful for the most part. Zyphos, what's up, man? Hope you're having a good day. Apologies, guys. I am mute my mic occasionally because there's crazy construction going on outside. Yeah, there's a guy working on the roof of my house, and he's got a circle saw and some other stuff, and it's very loud. So, yeah. Really quiet chat today. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Yesterday we had quite a lot of people that showed up. Well, compared to normal anyway. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic is out on Steam. Yeah, I've never really been a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, if I'm honest. I've never played the game, but At least from what I've seen, it didn't really interest me a whole lot. So I don't really know much about it, to be honest. My humor is broken. Yeah, I think a lot of people's humans. Oh, humor. I said humans. Humor is broken. It's just the internet's kind of destroyed people's humors. So, I mean, myself included, I just laugh at the most random stuff, which just isn't even funny. Like the other day, me and my two brothers were playing this game called Chain Together, I think. Let me see. Chain in the Backrooms, that's it. We were playing that, and there was a part of the mission where we had to do some like parkour up a ramp, and there was these like massive rolling pins that would just roll down the ramps and kill us. And if one of us died, it would end. And my brother started getting mad at the game. He was like, "We can't get past these monster rolls." I don't know why, but that just made me die. For some reason, monster rolls made me. I was literally crying, tears out my eyes. I was laughing that hard. Don't know why, but it just made me laugh really bad. Don't know why, man. It's broken humor. 21st century humor would have been lethal against a Roman child. Yeah, if they understood. There's so much stuff on like nowadays that they just would not get at all. Like, imagine you just walk up to a Roman child from back in the day and you just show them an iPhone, and there's just a meme on your phone. Like, they're gonna be like, "What the hell is that?" Skibbity CS:GO and the child's head explodes like in Kingsman. Yeah, no, funny story about Kingsman actually. You know the church scene where there's like a big fight that happens. Everyone starts going mayhem and fighting each other. That church is right outside my grandparents' house. So, one of their neighbors, the house that Samuel Jackson goes in. I forgot what his character's called, but the house that he goes in is actually my neighbor's house. Well, my grandparents' neighbor's house. They got paid for them to be able to shoot inside the room. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. I could probably find it on Google Maps. Let's take a look. It's not going to bait out where I live because I don't even live near there. Neither do anyone else. Well, I'll show you the church. I'm going to show the exact address because my grandparents live like right there. So see if I can find it though. Where the heck is this? I'm not the greatest map reader. I know it's in this area somewhere that I'm looking at. Is it here? Wait, hold on, let me go into... Oh, I know this is further up than this. Let's see. Donkey Town. What the hell? What's a place called Donkey Town? Where the hell is this place? Oh wait, it's down here, I think. Wait, I think I found it. Hold on, let me zoom down there on the road. This is very close. Hold on. Where is it? It's down here, but wait, where is it? Maybe it's further down here. No, they're destroying it. No, they're taking it out. It's not. It's getting like deconstructed or something. What's going on here? No, the church isn't there anymore. It's getting just demolished. What the hell? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's either getting demolished or it's being turned into something else. I can't really tell. Hold on, let me share. I'm going to take a screenshot. Well, you guys can just go and search up online, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let me share my screen. Let's do share screen. That's where the church is. It's getting destroyed. It's not there anymore. No, it's going. Well, rest in peace. Samuel Jackson's mayhem even caused it to disappear. Yeah. Oh, that's sad. Very unfortunate. Oh, Rest in peace to the church from Kingsman. It will forever be remembered as one of the most chaotic scenes in film history. Alright, let's think of something to do. Let's take a look at some army installations, see what we can find. Alright, army stop motion. There's definitely more people uploading, which is cool to see. But there's a lot of shorts. It's not really that much long form Army Men content. Also, after this, I might take some pics with the 1970s PLA chest rig. Chest rig I bought off a website. It's genuine and real from that era, and I had to wash it before I could even store it. Yeah, it's nice to hear, man. Send it in the Discord if you want to. Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. You need to cosplay like a Red Guard from Command and Conquer Generals. That'd be funny. Again, that makes no sense. The Red Guard in the image is holding like an AK-47 or something like that. But then in the actual game, he's holding a like a bolt action rifle. It's kind of random. Actually, have to. The green uniform could be an elite Red Guard. Yeah. Oh, an SKS. Okay. Yeah, that does actually kind of make sense. He does fire relatively quick compared to a bolt action. Yeah, the game's very goofy. The minigunners in the 0 hour version of the game. Those guys are OP against aircraft. They just shred through airplanes like it's nothing. But they basically suck in every other aspect. They have no tanks or anything like that. One thing I like about generals is the voice lines. Like it doesn't matter what faction you're playing as, they're the most stereotypical sounding people ever. The minigunners are generally cracked and hard to counter. The US Air Force General. Yeah, 100%. I think the one advantage the US Air Force General has over the minigunners is what's the supersonic bomber that they have? Is it literally just a supersonic bomber? I don't know, but that has pretty good range on it. Oh, let me have a look. Is it a supersonic bomber? Oh, Aurora, that's it. The Aurora bomber. So it's a pretty good aircraft. It's quite weak though, that's the only thing. Like, if you just have random minigunners set up around the map, there's not really much US Air Force can do against the minigunners. Road Warrior, what's up, man? Voice lines are so goofy. Yeah, that's the great thing about it. They would not get away with doing those like stereotypical voice lines in a modern Command and Conquer game. There's no way, or just any game for that matter. But I think that's what made that game great. They just didn't really care, and it was just a bit of fun at the end of the day. So if they tried doing that today, EA would probably go out of business. Yeah. You would not get away with it. But it would kind of be good to see it. I'm not going to lie. Not because I'm trying to sound racist, but I think games are too scared to make like jokes at this point. Like Command & Conquer Generals, most people can just see it as like it's not really meant to be taken seriously. It's just a goofy game with goofy characters and goofy voice lines. That's one thing I didn't like about the Generals 2 prototype was you had China, USA, and GLA. But all the different factions, like, they didn't really look like what their faction represented. Like, the GLA is a Middle Eastern, like, terror organization, but the people that work for them look white. Like, I don't know how that makes any sense. China, well, obviously, China only uses Chinese people for their military, so it makes sense that they're Chinese. The USA, I guess it kind of makes sense because, you know, there's a lot of different mixed races and cultures inside the US. Jokes in this economy? Oh, I don't know. Economy kind of sucks right now. Didn't feel like Generals in a sense, yeah. I do feel like Generals representation of Chinese army at the time wasn't very off. The Type 59s, Battle Masters were still in service around that time. Tank Hunters too, yeah. Yeah, the Chinese faction, the thing I like about the Chinese faction in Generals is a lot of it's just looks like experimental weapons or like prototype weapons. I'm pretty sure the MiG in Generals was an actual prototype aircraft that they were going to use, but it never ended up turning into anything. And then of course you have the Gatling tank, whatever it's called. Is it the Gatling tank? And then the Overlord tank, that was a good one. The US Army as well. I don't think the US Army really used a lot of prototype stuff. Most of their vehicles seemed realistic. I'm pretty sure the Crusader tank, I think it's called, is based on the Leopard tank. And then the Paladin, I don't know what that's based off. I think that might just be a random design they came up with. But I don't know. The Migan game was a prototype from Russia, actually, and MiG 1.4. You can tell I've done too much reading up on this game's faction. Yeah. Generals is an interesting game. The thing about Generals, though, is it presents a fictional world, but it also seems very it seems like that could actually be possible. All of the vehicles and factions and stuff, they seem like real world factions, despite them clearly not being. I think the USA and Command and Conquer Generals could basically just be summed up as NATO, but it's just called the USA. At least when it comes to their weapons and stuff. You can see both offensive and defensive strategies in US faction. Some look imported from European doctrines. I feel like the actual generals in game were some of the funniest. One of the infantry generals lines was literally 1 billion more. Where that came from when attacking your base. Yeah, I did like the battles in 0 hours where you could fight like specific generals. The one I struggled with the most was, I think it was against the GLA stealth general. I forgot his name. But yeah, that guy was a pain to fight. The thing is, I tried completing all of them using the Chinese infantry general, and the Chinese infantry general is arguably the worst faction in the game. And yeah, it was not easy, that's for sure. It's also really annoying in skirmish, and you use the satellite scans to find them for a limited time and mark their location somehow. Yeah, it can get annoying. Usually against the stealth guy, I usually just spam a ton of those radar trucks, or whatever they're called. Because they have stealth themselves, and they also detect stealth. I think it's a radar truck anyway, I can't remember. The Chinese radar truck thing. Or radar van. That's typically good. Just build 3 war factories, and then just start spamming them outside your base. And then spam a bunch of infantry as well, just attacking. But I do play more. I play more of Command and Conquer Kane's Wrath. So I do like generals, but I'm a big fan of the Tiberium series. I like the world building in that. It's like sci-fi kind of. So listening outposts. Yeah, those are the ones. They are pretty good. I think it's more worth just buying those listening posts instead of building rocket squads. I think you get more for your money. I think you get 2 or 3 rocket troops, and you also get the stealth detection from the van. And the price difference is not really that big, so you might as well just buy the listening posts for a little bit more money, and then of course you get more use. Got any future stop motion videos in the work? Yep, I do. I have Plastic Assault Part 7. That is currently at 22 minutes 30 seconds, so it's quite a long video. It's going to be around the 30-minute mark, give or take. So yeah. What's up? What's up, man? This outpost and troop crawlers are insanely useful. Yeah, the healing effect on the troop crawlers is very good. The only thing I don't like about troop crawlers is their armor sucks. They can get blown up very easily. That's the only bad thing. I play Modern Zero, so some of the Chinese factions allow you to mount an autocannon on the troop. It's nice. Yeah, that'll definitely make them more useful. I'm pretty sure the troop crawler is based off the Russian BTR, but without a turret. Usually they have a turret of some type. Would have been cool if the Gatling turret in the game was on top of the troop crawler, but that would probably get a bit too overpowered. Sounds awesome, can't wait. I really need to make some long stuff. Yeah, well, hopefully I get this one out this month. I think I will be able to. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If you're struggling to find time to make like a bigger stop motion, then you can always split it up into smaller segments and then just combine them all into one long video, so you end up having a long video at the end of the day. It's a weird thing, their troop crawler has 8 balls instead of 6, so it's a BTR, not a WZ551, even though the BTR was never actually in PLA service. Yeah, well, I guess it makes sense considering they used the Russian prototype MiG, so I guess it kind of makes sense. And a lot of the Chinese military stuff, at least from what I know, was like Soviet made. But recently they've been building a lot of their own stuff. GCSE's coming up eventually, so that's why I haven't animated much recently. Yeah, fair enough, man. Go get those GCSEs done. Most homegrown PLA equipment around that era was very, very obscure. Yeah. I do find it kind of odd that they were getting a lot of their military equipment from the Soviet Union, because the relations between the Soviet Union and the Communist Party at the time weren't really that great. I'm pretty sure they actually had a small war at some point over like some of the border regions in like North China, I think, but Northeast China. So yeah, it's kind of odd. Guess it makes sense that they are producing a lot of their own equipment now. Can I ask, what do you use for the AI voices? I use an app called 11 Labs. You can get it on your computer, on Google. I think you can use it on your phone as well on Google, but not sure. The subscription cost is about $5 a month, so it's not really that much. But yeah, that's what I use. It's just called 11 Labs. I'm going to show you guys a clip from Plastic Assault Part 7. I've already shown this a few times in my 2 previous streams, but I'm going to show you guys because I don't think you have seen it yet. Now, I want this video to be the closest thing we can get to Plastic Apocalypse in terms of quality. Of course, Plastic Apocalypse will probably always hold its position as the best Army Men stop motions. But I want mine to be the next best thing. So with this one, I've tried my absolute best. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Let me show you guys this real quick. There is no sound, by the way. I still need to edit the sound in. But most of the visual effects are there. So you guys can see this. All right, that's all I'm going to show you guys because otherwise it's going to spoil the video too much. It's just a short preview, but yeah, that is that. Like the camera angles, very nice. Thank you, thank you. I have tried with this to get more close-up shots as opposed to wide shots. That's one thing I noticed with my other videos. It's a lot of wide shots, and yeah, I'm experimenting with closer angles this time. And a lot of camera movement as well. So in the video, you'll be seeing scenes where the camera chases soldiers as they're running across the battlefield, shooting people. But yeah, that is that. Hopefully, that video turns out good. It's going to take me a long time to edit the sound effects. Sound effects are probably going to take longer to edit in than the visual effects, but you know, it is what it is. There were some skirmishes. The first T-62 ever lost in combat was because of Chinese RPG gunner, and it's still displayed in the museum today. Right, yeah. Do you have an idea for a 1980s action film style? Airfield Raid. Nice. Anyway, you know how to do stop motion, so you can always make it a reality. That's one thing that's great about stop motion is it's not really that. It's not insanely difficult to do. It's quite like it's something that anyone could get into. If you have any films or ideas you want to make, just go and do stop motion, and you can produce the whole thing by yourself. Always tricky doing camera movement. One bump ruins a lot of hard work. Yeah, yep, that is true. That is very true. Oh my god, this is going to take forever to render. It's 332 clips all split up because of all the voice lines I've added in. It's crazy. Alright, now I need to scroll all the way to where I last was. Let's see. It's over here, I think. Copy that cut comms, and then there's a conversation. Commence fire. Okay, that's right. Jesus Christ, this is lagging all over the place. Good. Aside from writing, stop motion is the best way to get your idea out into the world. Yep, 100%. 100%. it's a good outlet for people with creative minds. Sometimes it just gets annoying not being able to, produce your own idea or your own story because you don't have a massive budget. And stop motion is a good way to get around that because it's relatively cheap to get into. All right, I'm going to go now. Got to eat. No worries, Berlin. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you have some good food. A cheat I use when I do shots like that and bump something to transition to another camera angle to at least save some of the hard work. Yep, that can be used. That can be used. I think the only issue with that is, let's say, for example, you want to film. Okay, so typically you need a scene that's easy to follow. If you have a scene that finishes in like half a second, that's going to be hard for someone to understand what just happened. So let's say you want your scene to be around 2 seconds, which is typically what I do for my clips or for my scenes, depending on what it is. If you accidentally knock the camera over and it's not 2 seconds long and it goes by too quick, in my case, I just restart that whole scene unless I can get the camera back into perfect position. But yeah, I'm a bit OCD when it comes to stop motion. But, it's got to be done for the best content, right? So, gotta do what you gotta do. I'm going to start editing some of the voice lines again. Once I've done that, I can export it and then I can begin to edit all of the other sound effects. Talking about those long running camera shots. Yeah. Camera's following a character, etc. Yeah, I think the good thing about the following scenes, at least in my case, from what I've experienced, is if the camera does fall over, you can typically get away with repositioning it because the camera's moving anyway and it doesn't stay in the same position all the time. So luckily with those camera movements, you can typically get away with it. Which is a nice thing. I need to move these voice lines over here. All right. I would show you guys the editing process, but there's a couple of reasons I don't want to. One of them is I don't want to spoil the video. And the second thing is my sound effect editing is on my phone, so I can't really stream that to you guys. All right, what soldier is this? That one. Okay. Just line this up. Are you taking part in the Toymation Fall of Reach contest? I'm not entirely sure if I will be taking part in that contest.
There's a few reasons for that. I won't get into one of the reasons. But one of them, the main one for me, is the fact that I don't really have a whole lot of space. I mean, the last time I entered, I had to put my setup in the middle of my room on the floor. And yeah, that cannot stay there. The Fall of Reach, I would have to make a much longer video for that. And yeah, I just don't have the space for that. I definitely got time, but I just don't have the space. So the only way I see myself entering is if I do a lot of blue screening and build myself a small environment to work with. So yeah, I don't know. No guarantees I will join or will not join. We'll see what happens. There's still 6 months, so yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. Good Soldier down here some. Okay, this one here. Okay, let's edit this. Also, another good technique to use is the copy and paste reverse technique. What I mean by that is you copy, this is for talking scenes specifically. They can also be used for shooting scenes, but it's better to just animate those fully. So what you do is you split and copy and paste the scene of them talking. And then you reverse the scene you clipped, and then you duplicate it, reverse it, duplicate, reverse. And that's essentially how you do longer talking scenes. So a pretty good tactic. Most people do use it, at least within the Army Men community, when it comes to talking scenes. Saves time, a lot of time. And yeah, it's literally what I'm doing right now. Yeah, reasonable. You could always have the characters guarding something, keep you locked in one location, like a warehouse or something. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Well, I'll see what happens, man. I will see what happens. It's not that I don't want to join the contest. I wasn't a huge fan of. I know I said I wouldn't get into this, but I wasn't really a huge fan of the way it was judged this time around. If you go read some of my comments on my contest entry that I entered, myself and many others felt like there were animations, including my own. So it's not just about me, it's about others as well. We think there are animations that should have received positions that other people got. But based on what I heard back from Simon, it was, the judging wasn't necessarily judged based on quality or polish, and he tried to make the winners varied. So it kind of makes me believe the judges wanted to send a message to Mega that the community's still thriving and that there's still new talent joining the community. At least that's how myself and many others thought it was judged. So yeah, that's kind of, while I did appreciate it joining it, and I wanted to also send a message to Mega, I didn't think it was judged necessarily that fairly. It is an animation contest at the end of the day, and it should be judged based on overall animation quality, not just storyline, because someone can make a good storyline, but they can have very low quality animation. Just because their story's good doesn't mean the animation should be judged higher than someone who has better quality animation. Yeah, it wasn't run that smoothly. Yeah, someone also said to me there was a lot of judges and lots of people were from like different regions, so it was kind of hard for the judges to consistently be there all the time. So yeah, the judging was a little bit messy this time, but his recent video, he has taken the feedback into account, and he will be improving on the judging next time around, which is good. And if I can't make it to the next one, then I might send him a DM asking if I could join and also help host, well, not host, but judge the contest. I feel like I'd be able to offer some good insight. I think one of the issues is that a lot of the judges, they were not animators. So, you know, where me and other animators saw there should be other people in positions that other people got, of course, the judges don't see it that way because they're not, they don't necessarily look into all the tiny details that an animator would. It's kind of like an electrician looking at another electrician's work. They'll be able to tell who's better quality, right? Who did the better quality job. Whereas if you just bring an outsider who doesn't know much about electrical work, they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh, there's not really much difference. So yeah, I feel like if I was helping judge, I usually just say things how they are. I don't really like to sugarcoat or anything like that. So I would be as fair and upfront as possible. Obviously, I'd want to put out a good message and say he did an amazing job, or yeah, I will do that. But I'll also try and judge stuff as fair as possible. Personally, I'm bouncing ideas around, sorry. But I have a few other animations that I want to get done first, so I think it's more of an issue of time for me, but I know close to November, yeah. Can I bribe you with Army for a better judgment in the contest? No, I will not be taking briberies. If I were to judge anything, regardless of who's made the animation, I've got a few people I'd consider friends at this point. I would judge them just as equally as everyone else. I don't want to have any biases towards people. I want to give everyone an equal and fair chance to win. So yeah, that is how I would judge. And I'm not saying that didn't happen this time. I'm just saying that's how personally I judge contests. That's how I judged my contest that I hosted some time ago. Right, well, that's a war crime. Just editing in some war crimes for my next video. Pretty fun. It's not an army men video if there isn't a war crime going on. That's like the default settings for an army men stop motion. There has to be at least one war crime, otherwise it's not an army men video. I just realised we've had the same track playing the entire time. Let's switch up a bit. Let's put on some Generals music. There we go. Committing war crime for the good times. Yep, exactly. Army men videos is the only location that war crimes are acceptable. Any other scenario? Nope. Not acceptable at all. Yeah, it's taking a long time to edit these voice lines in. But we are getting there slowly. Alright, next line. Where are you from, country? I am from the United Kingdom. Well, England specifically. But yeah, that's where I'm from. Good old England. Although it's not very good anymore, but still England, I guess. Alright, I need to scroll down on my script so I can see where I'm at. There we go. Alright, let's freeze that scene there. And I'll demoted. Okay, there we go. Shamrock pose is very common in Europa. I find in my country, Romania. Yeah, but I found a few shamrock poses in just like random places, charity shops, and all kinds of things. Sorry, I'm not talking a whole lot now. I'm just slowly editing my video. I'll probably be ending the stream soon anyway. You know what? Let's do that, guys. I'll keep the stream running for 5 more minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will be ending the stream after. I'm just going to sit down, focus on editing the rest of this video. Good old Command & Conquer Generals. Great game. If you haven't played it, I recommend playing it. It's a really good game. If you're into strategy games, as yeah, it's getting hot in this room. Gonna have to turn the fan on. So it's getting a little hot in here. How many army men does it take to change a light bulb? 0. Because they cannot move. Oh wait, I need to do a voice line for this character. Well, that's that, I guess. The army men, they don't change the light bulbs, but they commit war crimes. Exactly. Alright guys, I'm going to be ending the stream there. It's getting hot in this room. I need to turn the fan on and your guys' eardrums will get blown up if the fan is on. So, yeah, I'll be ending it there. There is no outro because StreamYard did an update where there is no outro anymore. So, yeah, unfortunately, can't be seeing that. Let me read this real quick. My grandfather works at a factory in the 1990s in Romania. I was told they made plastic army men and soldiers who explained to me they made shamrock poses, but unfortunately the factory closed in 2003 due to bankruptcy. But my grandfather didn't manage to get a bug. The factory was owned by the Chinese. That's unfortunate to hear, man. Sad that the shamrock factory was closed down, but stuff happens, I guess. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream now. Appreciate you guys sticking by. Maybe I'll do another one tomorrow. I've been on a kill streak with these streams, but yeah, now you guys can listen to me as I try to shut the stream down because there's no outro. All right, take care, guys. Have a good day.